Guess who's back?
Jesus uncrossed.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 23 most controversial SNL skits of each year.
Wow. I've been really clumsy this week.
For this list, we're singling out the sketches that drew the most shock and outrage each year from the year 2000 to 2022. What do you think is the most controversial SNL skit? Let us know in the comments. 2000. Regis co-host auditions. With Kathy Lee Gifford's exit, all eyes were on Live with Regis to see who would be the new co-host.
I tell you, Gelman, I can't wait to meet my potential new co-host.
The setup paved the way for the SNL cast to break out their impressions, with Tracy Morgan as Star Jones, Sherry O'Terry as Barbara Walters, and Anna Gasteyer as Darva Conger.
I will be your friend, your lover, and your partner throughout whatever life has to offer us.
Things took an awkward turn when Jimmy Fallon popped up as Chris Rock, complete with a tooth gap and full makeup. While the impression was jarring in 2000, it gained even more notoriety 2 decades later when it resurfaced online. Fallon apologized amid the backlash, calling it, quote, a terrible decision.
I want to move forward and going forward, I want to work on being a better ally.
Rock didn't express anger towards Fallon, calling him a, quote, great guy who, quote, didn't mean anything. However, Rock still considers the impression, quote, bad comedy. 2001. War Party. Another bit that only gained more notoriety over time, this 2001 sketch aired 1 month after the US invaded Afghanistan. With the announcement that the Northern Alliance had taken Kandahar, a cocktail party turns into a jazzy musical number about the southern Afghan city.
Gee golly wow, boy, we got him now, Kandahar, Kandahar.
Things get solemn, albeit still nonsensical, when Tracy Morgan breaks into a monologue.
This festering agon which threatens the ages will not be one in Afghan cities, but in the very bosom of all man's all too fettered being.
But it isn't long until the celebratory singing resumes. People remain divided on the sketch, with some calling it a sharp, dark satire, and others finding it tone-deaf, especially since the war in Afghanistan remains the longest in U.S. history. Former SNL writer Michael Schur defended the sketch, saying, quote, the point was to make fun of how cavalier and ignorant we were being about the invasion. 2002. Bambi 2002. It's a good thing that satire is protected under the First Amendment. Otherwise, we're not sure Disney would have been so lenient about this TV Funhouse segment.
Bambi is going into the Disney Vault for 10 years, depriving your child or future children of a significant emotional milestone.
Even if SNL avoided any legal action, Bambi 2002 still pushed the envelope of how far you can go in satirizing a beloved Disney classic. Giving Bambi a 21st century makeover, this faux direct-to-video sequel is hilariously relentless in its send-up of corporate greed, shamelessly succumbing to the latest trends and the essence of childhood.
Bambi and the gang are back in business, and the forest has never been more fun.
I'm Bambi. I'm here to say I'm the Fresh Prince of the Forest each and every day.
Robert Smigel wasn't a huge Disney fan growing up, although he developed a love for their movies upon becoming a parent. That didn't stop him from depicting Bambi's mom with head trauma or an adult film version of Pocahontas.
Come on, Bob, do your exercises.
What's next, a pre-scandal Jared? 2003. Adrian Brody's dreadlocks. Going off script is rarely, if ever, a wise idea on SNL, unless you're looking to get on Lorne Michaels' bad side. Adrian Brody's urge to improvise would get him banned from SNL.
Please, I only get one chance here.
It'd be one thing if the ad-lib was funny, but this incident demonstrates why Brody is probably better suited for drama than comedy. Introducing musical guest Sean Paul, Brody went rogue with dreadlocks and a Jamaican accent. And yes, Paul is Jamaican, which only made the bit more offensive. Michaels wasn't the only one Brody antagonized. Speaking with Howard Stern, Tina Fey called Brody, quote, cocky, and said he pitched, quote, terribly unfunny ideas. 2004. Ashley Simpson lip-syncing. Ashley Simpson is known for many things, but her infamous SNL appearance is one that she's never been able to shake. The musical guest's first performance of Pieces of Me went off without a hitch. When her second performance commenced, though, viewers became overcome with déjà vu as Pieces of Me played again.
On a Monday, I am waiting. Tuesday, I am fading.
Nobody was more confused than Simpson, who did a hoedown as her band tried switching gears. Simpson subsequently left the stage as the telecast awkwardly cut to commercial. As the show wrapped, Simpson claimed that her band played the wrong song, which was supposed to be Autobiography.
I feel so bad my band started playing the wrong song, and I know what to do, so I thought I'd do a hoedown. I'm sorry.
However, it was pretty obvious that Simpson had been lip-syncing, and she'd later say that she was resting her voice because of acid reflux disease.
What happened there was I had a vocal problem. I had two nodes beating against each other, and I woke up and I had no voice. And then I should have said, no, I will not go on, I will not do this.
2005, System of a Down performs BYOB. Once again, an SNL musical act went off the rails. Heavy metal group System of a Down performed their 2005 song BYOB, which stands for Bring Your Own Bombs. Playing such a politically charged song during the Iraq War already invited potential controversy. On top of that, the band refused to omit an explicit lyric that wouldn't fly on NBC. The censors thought they could work around this by using the 5-second delay to bleep the profanity. This approach seemed to work, as the censors managed to mute the recurring lyric all 5 times it was uttered. However, they weren't prepared for Darren Malakian closing out the performance with one last F-bomb that ultimately slipped by, solidifying the band's SNL ban. 2006, In a Box. Censoring a song is easier when it isn't performed live. With this iconic digital short song, it was clear that The Lonely Island and Justin Timberlake had delivered a winner.
Wow, you know it's Christmas, and my heart is open wide.
The song even won a Primetime Emmy. However, the title alone was a red flag for the FCC. SNL reached a compromise, airing the song with one particular word bleeped 16 times.
Something special, girl.
It's my in a box.
SNL didn't need the FCC's permission to share the explicit version online, though. The uncensored cut received backlash from Parents Television Council President L. Brent Bozell, who called it, quote, a new low for NBC. That didn't stop the song from becoming a viral sensation and breaking new ground for shows digitally releasing content too risque for network TV. 2007, Danny's Song. If you're a Kenny Loggins fan, you'll recognize Danny's Song as a sentimental tune that the artist wrote to commemorate his nephew's birth.
Even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey.
SNL viewers will also recognize the song from this divisive sketch. As four friends reminisce about the good old days, Bill Hader's character makes an uncomfortable comment about his father having Down syndrome.
It's the first day I ever thought to myself, just, I have a dad, and not, I have a dad with Down syndrome.
This wasn't the sketch's only shocking moment, but it's the one where some drew the line. SNL and the higher-ups at NBC received an angry letter from John Coleman and Pam Vanderlee of the National Down Syndrome Society. They wrote that people with Down syndrome, quote, deserve to be respected and celebrated for their success and achievements, and not to have their clinical diagnosis used as a punchline. 2008, Nancy Pelosi and Barney Frank on the financial bailout. Being an election year, 2008 offered no shortage of political material for SNL to work with.
I'm sorry, I want to phone a friend.
While most of it was comedic gold, there were a few missteps. Fred Armisen debuted his Barack Obama impression, which likely wouldn't fly today for obvious reasons. Another sketch featuring Jason Sudeikis as President Bush and Kristen Wiig as Nancy Pelosi proved so controversial that it had to be modified online. Satirizing the bailout, the sketch targeted Herb and Marion Sandler of World Savings, captioning them as, quote, people who should be shot. After being released online, NBC's lawyers removed the sketch. While the Sandlers reportedly didn't pursue legal action, NBC stated they found, quote, elements in the sketch that didn't meet their standards. The sketch was eventually reposted, albeit edited.
And now with the real estate market down, you're stuck with 24 timeshare condos that you can't sell. Unless we sold them for like 10% more than we paid.
2009, The Situation Room, Tiger Woods' accidents. SNL's tone-deaf take on Tiger Woods' affairs left some viewers understandably fuming.
I will strive to be a better person and the husband and father my family deserves.
Yeah, you will.
We see the golfer at press conferences, and every time the camera cuts back to him, he's sporting a new injury, clearly caused by his wife, played by Blake Lively.
I've been really clumsy this week.
Even his cries for help are turned into a punchline.
Believe it or not, I actually ran over myself.
Many viewers pointed out that if the roles had been reversed, it would have never been treated so lightly. While some people did see the funny side, most thought the show had gone too far. 2010, Weekend Update, Fred and Governor Patterson. SNL's take on politics is usually comedy gold, but that doesn't mean they don't occasionally miss the mark.
Hello, Yankee Stadium!
When Fred Armisen parodied New York Governor David Patterson, rather than focusing on his political career or scandals, they focused on his blindness.
Everything will be reduced to rubble and flaming piles of garbage. Or as I like to call it, where am I? New Jersey!
Needless to say, the governor was unimpressed, accusing the show of relying on offensive stereotypes.
Stop, stop, stop.
However, when he appeared on the show beside Fred Armisen, it looked like it was all water under the bridge. He was able to laugh at his own expense, but also gave the cast a taste of their own medicine by throwing in some shots of his own.
You know, working in Albany is a lot like watching Saturday Night Live. There's a lot of characters, it's funny for 10 minutes, and then you just want it to go away.
2011, Jesus visits Tim Tebow and the Denver Broncos. Jason Sudeikis is known for playing the devil on SNL, but it was his portrayal of Jesus that summoned a plague of controversy. As Tim Tebow of the Denver Broncos thanks Jesus for taking the team so far, the Messiah himself enters the locker room.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, Jesus! He has risen!
No, not really. Just a quick visit. So, hey, everybody take a seat. Go ahead, take a seat. Chill out.
Jesus takes full credit for their 6-game winning streak, but requests that they start pulling their own weight. He gets the team pumped and also confirms that Mormonism is the real deal. There's really nothing mean-spirited or anti-religious about the sketch, but whenever Jesus is satirized, there are bound to be naysayers.
Here's the thing. I just go where people call me the most. You know, nowadays, that's a lot of football games. Also the Country Music Awards. You know, I decide all those.
Televangelist Pat Robertson called the sketch, quote, anti-Christian bigotry that is just disgusting. Fox News' Bob Beckel called it, quote, despicable. But it's not like they're SNL's target demographic anyway.
I love you, okay? I really
I
do.
love you too.
Okay, all right. But just take it down a notch, will you, buddy?
All right, yes, Lord, whatever you command.
Okay, well, not a command, just a request.
2012, What Up With That? Samuel L. Jackson and Carrie Brownstein. What Up With That is a recurring sketch that never gets old, even if it basically recycles the same formula over and over again. Kenan Thompson's DeAndre Cole repeatedly sings the irresistible theme song, sidelining his high-profile guests and Bill Hader as Lindsey Buckingham.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
We usually know what we're gonna get, but Samuel L. Jackson helped this iteration stand out. As the sketch wrapped, Thompson was apparently supposed to interrupt Jackson mid-profanity, but the timing was off. According to Thompson, the cue card only had an F on it, but Jackson went all in and threw in an extra swear word.
I want to thank my guest, the incredible Samuel L. Jackson. Man, hey!
The incident led Jackson to believe that he was banned from SNL, although Thompson later clarified that he's still welcome on the show.
Hey, Sam. It's all good, bro. Yeah. You're welcome anytime, from what I've been hearing.
2013, Jesus Uncrossed. Director's Cut. You know what we said, if you're gonna parody Jesus Christ, be prepared to ruffle a few feathers.
Guess who's back?
Christoph Waltz takes the lead in a movie trailer that gives this biblical story a Quentin Tarantino-style makeover. It's incredibly gory and bloody, plus we're pretty sure that the source material never included guns.
I need me 11 apostles. We're gonna be doing one thing and one thing only. Killing romance.
Some religious groups were offended by this sketch, which portrays Jesus as super violent, rather than forgiving. The Council on American Islamic Relations released a statement saying that they understood the show wanted to, quote, provoke a humorous response, but that it was, quote, a distasteful portrayal. 2014, Shark Tank. The sharks on Shark Tank can certainly be intimidating, but not as intimidating as the pitchers in this jaw-dropping sketch. With the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria taking center stage, this sketch dived headfirst into bad taste and never came up for air. The sketch ends with the pitchers being captured thanks to Damon John, who is played by Kenan Thompson. The real John wasn't so amused, however. The Shark Group founder said that he, quote, wasn't excited about the topic and, quote, found it a little insensitive. However, John did appreciate the fact that he was the one who saved the world.
Because that's when I called Homeland Security to collect your $30 million bounty.
Freeze! Drop the weapons!
Nice play, Damon.
Thank you very much.
A sensitive topic for sure, but it wouldn't be the last time SNL parodied this controversial group. 2015, Father-Daughter Ad. This spoof of a Toyota commercial starring guest host Dakota Johnson and cast member Taran Killam drove viewers to Twitter to express their outrage.
You need any help with your bag?
No, that's all right. I got it.
How about some walking around money?
Dad, it's okay.
At first, viewers are lulled into a false sense of security, thinking that what they're watching is a heartwarming moment between a father and a daughter. Then, a pickup truck full of heavily armed men comes into view.
You be careful, okay?
Dad, it's just ISIS.
The controversial cherry on this dubious sundae is when a tearful father tells these men to look after his daughter and one responds.
Death to America.
So really, they couldn't have been all that surprised that this sketch would incense viewers. 2016, Teacher Trial with Ronda Rousey. You know when they say some things are better left to the imagination?
Now, Mr. Daly, can you point out your former teachers for the court?
Yes, they're right there, giving me butterflies.
So cheesy.
Blurring fantasy and reality, this sketch sees a 16-year-old student testify in court after his affair with his teachers is exposed.
The defendant, Ms. Luna, texts, "I'm with Ms. Torkelson, come over for some private tutoring." Winky emoji face.
The apparent joke here is that everyone is super impressed by a kid scoring with his teachers, despite the legal and moral implications.
And how long would you say the encounter lasted?
About 5 hours.
Oh, I remember those days.
Some pointed out that if the genders had been flipped, no one would think the sketch was funny. Once again, SNL was under fire for joking about a serious subject, as some viewers argued they'd gone too far.
Well, let the record show the witness means my man.
2016's Heroin AM was another divisive sketch, especially since some former cast members lost their lives to drugs.
Side effects include it's heroin. So, all that stuff.
2017, World's Most Evil Invention. While at a supervillain convention, the attendees compete for the most evil invention in the world.
It can reduce a monument to the size of a toy!
There's a shrink ray and freeze gun, pretty standard villain stuff. But when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's character steps up, things take a seriously dark turn, and even the other villains voice their outrage.
Oh my God!
What's wrong?
What's wrong? My most evil idea was a blizzard in July.
Right. Well, I went in a slightly different direction with the assignment.
A number of viewers objected to the skit, arguing that it trivialized sexual abuse. The sketch also takes a strange turn, as it's revealed that this has all been a disturbing commercial for White Castle. 2018, Pete Davidson's first impressions of midterm election candidates. With the 2018 midterm elections approaching, Pete Davidson offered his opinions on the candidates, but walked right into controversy.
This guy's kind of cool, Dan Crenshaw.
Oh, come on, man.
Yo, hold on.
As a picture of ex-Navy SEAL Dan Crenshaw appears, you can hear Michael Che laugh nervously off camera. Pete isn't thrown off in the slightest, and proceeds to mock the veteran's war wound, which definitely upsets some viewers, Crenshaw included.
I'm sorry, I know he lost his eye in war or whatever.
The following week, the newly elected representative was invited to appear on the show and given a chance for rebuttal. Pete was also made to apologize live on air, something practically unheard of on SNL. Davidson later addressed the incident in his 2020 stand-up special Alive from New York.
poking fun not only at himself and his apology, but once again at Crenshaw.
2019, Pound Puppy. You want to get intimate with your partner, but the dog's in the room. What do? Get a giant fake dog to canoodle inside.
Now you don't have to with Pound Puppy, the furry dog costume big enough for two people to have sex in.
While outrageous, this SNL faux commercial isn't exactly offensive or even that daring compared to some others on this list. However, its controversial nature stems from accusations of plagiarism. Nick Rugia and Ryan Hoffman of the comedy group Temple Horses claimed that SNL ripped off their sketch Pet Blinders, which was uploaded to YouTube in 2011. They also noticed similarities between SNL's Pumpkin Patch and one of their sketches. The comedians expressed their grievances to NBC.
So throw your dog and yourself a bone with Pound Puppy.
Following an internal investigation, however, NBC's attorneys said they, quote, found no similarities to the Temple Horses sketch that would be protected by copyright law. 2020, Africa Tourism. In this sketch, 3 women who all coincidentally have the same name explain why Africa is the best destination for divorcees of a certain age. 2 things overshadow their monotone dialogue, however. First, there's Adele repeatedly breaking throughout the sketch.
Jungles, the mountains, the ranges, the rhythm, the drums, the pounding.
Second, there's the black men in the background getting comfortable with other ladies. Some found the sketch ill-timed given the End SARS movement and ongoing police brutality. It didn't help that about a month earlier, Adele posted an Instagram photo of herself sporting a traditional African hairstyle, which was criticized as cultural appropriation. Timing aside, some took issue with the usage of words like tribesmen, finding that the sketch objectified black men, although others felt that white women were the real targets of the satire.
And don't tell anybody you're going to beautiful, beautiful Africa. Africa. You're gonna want that coconut water.
2021, Gen Z Hospital. Elon Musk plays a doctor at a hospital specifically for Gen Z. For many viewers, the sketch not only failed to authentically capture how Gen Z talks, but also went to unexpectedly offensive places.
Just give us the tea.
Okay, well, as you may have seen on her live, your bestie took a major L while driving her Hellcat.
Critics argued that some of the lingo stemmed from African American vernacular English, which has been frequently appropriated on TikTok and Twitter. John Rickford, a Stanford University linguistics professor, called the sketch, quote, an embarrassment, claiming it, quote, negated the powerful, positive ways in which African American English is used in everyday life.
This just looks way better for the gram than a dead body.
That urn is really iconic.
Fire.
Michael Che, who came up with the sketch, wasn't familiar with AAVE until after the backlash. Che responded, quote, look, the sketch bombed. I'm used to that. I meant no offense to the AAVE community. I love AAVE. AAVE to the moon. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. 2022, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial cold open. A sketch about Roe v. Wade was sure to press buttons, but many still found it to be clever satire.
Oh, you think just because I have active plague, that means I need to wear a mask? It's my body, my choice.
The same cannot be entirely said about SNL's take on Depp v. Heard. Given the serious subject matter behind the trial, some felt it was wrong for SNL to even touch it. Being such a highly publicized court case with its fair share of bizarre moments, though, SNL likely felt obligated to commentate on it. There was definitely potential for smart, even insightful satire. Instead, what we got was about 5 minutes dwelling on the defecated bed incident.
Wait, what's that smell? Oh! So you really did it, man. You finally quitting.
While Kyle Mooney does a solid impression, people got more out of the real Johnny Depp saying fecal matter than anything from this misguided sketch. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.